I'm talking to Oni, I'm talking to Arlen, talking to anyone who has any interest in game dev. From Christmas Eve forward, and I posted this in Discord, they are doing a free gift every single day. Today's gift is personal to me because it is the character model that I'm using for my game, currently titled Immersive JRPG Simulator VR with zombies and co-op. Turkey, port salute, and cranberry sandwiches. My guy, Boy Brown, how you doing, buddy? How you doing? I think most of them missed the one I was interested in. That sucks. So this is a bunch of interchangeable, like there's a male and a female body part. You could do different skin tones, different hairstyles. I think it's like 10 different hairstyles, a bunch of different outfits. This light version is just like 2 outfits and 2 hairstyles. I had the full version, so I caught it on the sale. But if you're looking to get some good looking, like JRPG-ish anime looking characters into your game, grab this because it is free today only. I'm good today. Hope you had a good Christmas. It's pretty good. I'm at the age now because I don't have kids or anything who live with me, that really is just about going to see family. I went and saw some family. I went and hung out with my mom for a bit, and I just kind of kept it chill. So, and New Year's will probably be the same thing. So anyway, that's available. The other thing, before we get to the walkabout stuff, is this. So even this, I wonder if you could recommend a pretty, okay, wow. I'm gonna provide context for what Soanin, by the way, happy New Year, Soanin, even though it's a few days from now, but I won't see you before Thursday. To provide context for what Soanin just said, someone in the Discord, I think it was Thomasaurus, asked for a recommendation of good story-based VR puzzle games, and I named about 10, and somehow I overlooked this gem that Soanin got me to play that I absolutely loved. Somehow I totally overlooked Shadow Point, which is on PlayStation VR 1, MetaQuest, and Rift. I don't think it ever came to I don't think it ever went to PC VR. So when correct me if I'm wrong, that's not on Steam, right? Didn't this one, you had to use Revive for this, right? Like birthdays, you know, so a happy early birthday. You know, your 50th is always special. He's gonna kill me for that. I think Soana had to play this via Revive, if I'm not mistaken, but I played this on, yeah, straight up Rift. But an excellent puzzle game. I'm embarrassed I forgot about it, but just go show there's a lot of really great puzzle games in VR, environmental puzzle games that make use of VR mechanics. This one is, yeah, it's a good story, and it's narrated by Sir Patrick Stewart, which, if that's not enough to sell you, Sir Patrick Stewart is in a virtual reality game. If that's not enough to sell you on it, I don't know what is. People, what's going on? Just played this one very recently. Faye, what'd you think? I thought it was terrific. Yeah, and it was Patrick Stewart before he started sounding like his age. Is one of the downsides to the recent Star Trek show is, man, like that was my childhood back up on screen, but as I've aged, they've aged too. So it was, bits of that were tough to watch, but the ending was fantastic. Anyway, off topic. This is Proto Factor. Just for older game, looked good. Yeah, it looked really good. This is Proto Factor, who made an animal pack that I bought on sale for very, very, very cheap. And I got something like, pause real quick. This used to be about $549, and I got it for 80% off. And then I had another coupon on top of that. So I got all these monster designs, which I've shown on stream before, for very, very, very cheap. I was very excited about this. This took care of all the monster designs that I needed to deal with for my game. So I just had to like redo the shader to make sure everything matched with the JRPG style that I'm working on. But long story short, it said in the documentation that if they added anything to the bundle, I would get it for free. So I got a notification 2 days ago that I now have this pack added to it. So it'll be a bunch of free assets. Yeah, Unity. Yeah, I showed that a few minutes ago. So now I have this pack with these new monsters. Wait, hold on. Where's number 3? Add this pack with these new monsters. So I'm just gonna show the Sketchfab videos, and I'll show you very quickly what some of these are. I cannot tell you how long it would take me to build something like this in Blender. one, because I'm still in the very, very, very rudimentary stages of learning Blender. And two, because even if I knew Blender like the back of my hand, that's weird, it would still take me a very long time to build something of this level of quality and do it over and over and over again. Whatever, kid two. Whatever. So yeah, there's that one. That's a crassoplast. This ugly blobbish creature might look insignificant at first sight, but this creature is a ferocious predator. 12,770,000 tries, or aka polygons. One of the benefits to me trying to make a turn-based JRPG is that I have a lot of control over what you see, because like the battle arenas don't need like massive draw distance and stuff, because they're just arenas that you fight all the characters in, or all the enemies in. So I can get away with doing, and I've already tested this a couple times in other prototypes that I build. I've already done some testing with this, and I can get some pretty good looking creatures on screen, because I'm controlling like how many, my polygon count is pretty low for like the environment and stuff, because it's all like a contained arena, if that makes sense. Limited draw distance pass, oh whatever. But you know what I mean, like, because you're running up to an enemy, and all the enemies in the overworld have the exact same look. They're shadows, so you hit them and then you go into the arena, and then the shadow turns into whatever creatures you're gonna fight. So because of that, and turn-based games in general did that to save on resources and things like that, but it gives me a lot more overhead into what kind of creatures and stuff I can bring in. So I'm excited. Future Brew just picked up Shadow Point for €2. Nice. Excellent.
Hello, Mike.
All right, relax.
Hello.
If you would like to see Relax's foot post surgery, go to Victor's and Pidios in my Discord. Where I know Future's very excited, because apparently we learned earlier this week that Future likes feet pics. What the hell? That was a little bit delayed, but yeah. So please DM Future all your feet pics. Please don't do that. He'll kill me. All the feet pics. This guy looks like this. And I'm not gonna show all the sketch files of each of these. I'll just go through each creature one by one. I feel like I want to make this guy a boss fight, because for scale, this is what I'm 6 foot even, so I'm 1 inch shorter than this model. This is what this guy looks like size wise. I'm very much looking forward to bringing some of these creatures into the game. This is Arocatrox, an ugly giant caterpillar that will devour whatever comes close to its toothy mouth. It can attack by surprise from underground, so watch out. There's your scale picture. So yeah, gonna be a lot, just a lot of things. But there's a lot of like insectoid arachnid type things. So I don't think I'm gonna use this in my game, but it's again good to have. I could make one hell of a Starship Troopers X medieval game where like evil alien, there's like an evil bug empire trying to take over your fantasy world, because I have so many bug looking creatures available to me right now. I don't think I'm gonna make this creature that scale, because in turn-based that's gonna be really hard to fight something that big, although Claire Obscure did pretty well with it. More on Claire Obscure in a bit. This is the Hexapodosaurus, this unlikely hybrid between a crocodile and an insect. Can be a ferocious shit. Ferocious shit. Can be if a vicious, ferocious creature with his enemy with his powerful jaws will deal lethal damage. This one, let's see sketch out for, because I haven't watched it yet. Look at all those teeth. Let the model load all the way in. There we go. So yeah, me building something like this, like I'm not gonna make a game if the Unity Asset Store and places like Fab and stuff did not exist. Because I think for your first game, you kind of want to like use stuff like this to kind of hide your weaknesses. I am not an artist whatsoever. I'm a programmer. That's what I went to school for. So all the programming stuff I can handle, but asking me to like build all this is why teams exist. And I have so much respect for people who like solo devs who can do all their own artwork and all their own music. Like Zaxxy Lacus Brown, who made the Vertigo games. I have so much respect for people who can do all that. I can't, so I'm supplementing what I can't do yet with assets. I'm not allowed to comment on what I think this looks like, as I promised Mike I wouldn't be too kitsu. What are you talking about? Be all the kitsu. Please tell me what that is. I don't know who told you that lie. I think that was everything in the pack, unless I just scanned too far. Is that guy the last one? Nope, there's this guy. This is a Laricaderm. A massive bipedal monster will use its raw power to smash whatever stands in its way. This fierce creature doesn't fear anything, so watch out. 16,000 triangles. Really risky. I'm not reading that out loud. I'm not reading that out loud. Yeah, I suck at art. I can draw stick figures. I can barely draw. I can't draw a straight line, Future. So thank you for the resub, buddy. Thank you for the resub, buddy. Skip ahead on the sketch fab. And then there's one that I know, even though I'd already picked most of the creatures I wanted in the game and I kind of laid out story around certain things, there's one that I have to include. This looks like a creature you would fight in the desert. There's not a desert planned in my game right now. But yeah, just slow moving, very slothful. Anyway. Russ, please tell me that is not a subreddit. Please tell me, Art, don't stick your dick in that. It's not a true subreddit, please. I really hope it's not. This might be my favorite one in the whole pack. Look at this thing. Acanthosor. I'm going to use this in the game. I spent 6 hours of Blender trying to remove a tuft of fluff from an avatar before. I ended up mostly breaking the models for people who can make stuff like this. Yeah, it's incredible what artists do. It really is. Like they're wizards. They really are. Like, this stuff is insane. This hybrid between a rose shrub and a lizard will stay still looking like a plant until a prey passes by. Of course, I'm not gonna use that in my game, but here's the sketch fab for it. This looks phenomenal. This looks phenomenal. I may scale this down to like human size and just make it a regular enemy. Oh, by the way, all these like roaring sounds, even though I'm not to the point where I'm ready to put sound effects in yet, I'm nowhere near that, so everything's very quiet. I don't have like sword clanks or anything yet while I'm still fine-tuning the combat. This is making me want to start looking at like roars, like animal creature roars, because yeah, that first roar looks pretty cool. So yeah, so there's that one, and there's the animations. That's the main one. I don't know what the side ones were. Terpisomorph. Disgusting critter will be your worst nightmare when swarming you. Their sharp teeth and claws will tear you apart. If that's not enough, their deadly venom will finish the job. So one of its attacks is a backswing, like tail attack with its venom. I already have a status ailment planned for this one. So if you get hit with that, you get poisoned and you lose like HP every turn or something like that. This one looked pretty good. This demented looking turtle, Frictichelon. I don't think his attacks were a lot of the attacks for most of these creatures are like, you know, left punch, right punch, stuff like that, and a bite. So I'm gonna have to get creative with them, like shooting projectiles or something. But yeah, I need a sound for that roar, and this roar. Look at that roar. Like that rear back. Hold on, this rear back is gonna be like if it powers up and busts on attack, its own like strength attacks or something like that. Like I'm getting creative because I only have so many animations per creature to deal with, and I'm not gonna go through the process of adding new animations. So I'm just taking what they have available and trying to accept them as much as possible. Have you clearly defined the state of completion for the first version, or are you potentially some feature creep? Define state of completion. I have I'm pausing this. There's 7 areas in the game that are sketched out in terms of like what I want to do, but I am still very much in the everything's in a Unity default look while I'm fine-tuning the combat. Just recently, about 3 weeks ago, after really struggling to try to figure out how I was going to pull this off, I switched because I need to finish the magic so I can get a prototype out, but I was stuck on trying to make this transition between party members really smooth, because anyone who's ever played VR knows when the camera moves when you're not in control of it, that's very, very jarring. And so I added it as a simple fade, which is fine, but also I have full body IK in this game. And it's one thing if you're controlling one character the whole time and like the movements match 1-to-1. It's another thing when you jump from one character to another and then like the character's model